something that's amazing about themselves.
higher GPA, and they also stay in school longer. So you've already set yourself up for success by being here, by being involved in 4-H. So again, studies show that you being involved in 4-H, you'll have a higher GPA, and you'll retain yourself, or you'll be enrolled longer in a 4-year college. So here at the University of Arkansas Bumpers College, we have everything. You name it. We have ag business and ag econ, education, communications, and technology, animal science, poultry science, crop science, food science, entomology, plant pathology, horticulture, and the human environmental sciences, the School of Human Environmental Sciences, which focuses on the basics of family, community, food, clothing, and the environment. So you're probably here competing in one of those topic areas. So if we can answer questions about those topic areas, myself or others, please stop us and give us an opportunity to talk to you about that. We can set up a tour now. We can set up a tour later and maybe bring your parents or guardians back. We'd be glad to show you around. I'll leave you with a quick story. I was sitting in those same chairs many years ago. I'm old, 1980s. Okay, I'll give you a few years there. My first trip to the U of A campus was during State O-Rama, that one district, and I was raised on a 5th-generation dairy farm in Sebastian County. Anybody know where that is? Sebastian County, down to Greenwood, right? So 5th-generation dairy farm, and I won an illustrated talk on dairy sire selection. So my mom and I worked. I can still if we had time, I would go through my illustrated talk with you up here, because I can still remember the opening line to that. And a lot of you have heard me give this example, but that talk helped me learn how to speak in front of others. It gave me confidence. And so what you're doing here this week will build confidence, will build success. I practiced really hard. I can still remember that. I stayed in the dorms, and I had a great time here at the University of Arkansas. I want you to do that. I met many people, and I learned a lot during that week. As Debbie's already mentioned, Dr. Nistler already mentioned, do things this week that maybe get you out of your comfort zone. Talk to people. Learn something about someone else or about another topic that you've never thought about. Because those folks that I met 35 years ago are still friends of mine today. You're building your network today. You'll build it this week. I challenge you to learn something about someone else, learn something about another topic, as I mentioned. I promise you it's time well spent. You're part of a great program that is and will continue to prepare you for a successful life. Remember this week, it's hot. Stay hydrated, but most of all, remember to have fun, all right? And I always say, have legal fun. Have legal fun, but have a good time. Again, congratulations and welcome to the University of Arkansas campus. So if you will, do me the honor and the privilege to call the hogs. It wouldn't be appropriate if we didn't welcome you to the campus. I'll ask the officer team to come back out. We're going to call the hogs real quick. Come back on the stage. Everybody know how to call the hogs? We're going to show you how to do that right now.
Thank you, Dr. Looper. On behalf of Arkansas 4-H, I'd like to sincerely extend our appreciation for spending time with us today. We are so excited to be on the University of Arkansas Fayetteville campus again. This year, the Arkansas 4-H Donor Dinner and the Awards of Excellence ceremony will be on Wednesday. If you are an Advanced Record Book winner, 4-H Scholarship winner, or a Governor's Award finalist, you will attend the dinner on Wednesday night at 5 p.m. only if you have already RSVP'd yes to the event. You should dress professionally for the dinner, and a bus will pick you up at the O-Rama bus stop in front of Hotz Hall at 4:30 p.m. Please be on time. For everyone else, you will eat in the cafeteria between 4:30 to 6 p.m. on Wednesday night, and then will attend the awards ceremony at 7 p.m. that will be here in the ballroom. You may walk here or park in the parking deck besides the Arkansas Union. Please dress in business casual. On Thursday, let's all send this campus into orbit by covering it with our 4-H spirit. Please wear this year's State O-Rama t-shirt on that day. Also, all ambassadors, new and retiring, will need to wear their ambassador polo to the closing assembly on Thursday.
Would you like to win some great prizes this week? We will be drawing names of the registered full-time State O-Rama participants during the closing awards assembly for several prizes. Other prize winners will come from the booth passports at the College Career Fair and Bumpers College Picnic. And finally, we will be hosting a social media contest for some prizes as well. To enter the social media contest, post a photo on Instagram or Facebook this week. Make sure you tag us at Arkansas 4-H and use the hashtag AR4H and hashtag AR4H Clover System. You can enter that prize contest multiple times. The more you post about your State O-Rama experience, the more your name is entered.
The College Career Fair and Bumpers College Picnic will be on the Ag, Food, and Life Sciences lawn, which is located across from Pat Walker Health Science Center on Wednesday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Be sure to bring your booth passport that came in your county's registration packet to the fair. Visit each booth and have them stamp your passport. You must get all of the stamps to be eligible for prizes. Turn in your completed passports by 1:30 p.m. at the 4-H booth at the event. As a reminder, each of you have signed a 4-H code of conduct, and everyone is expected to follow the code. In the event that anyone has broken the code of conduct, a review board is in place to take care of the situation. As a memorable way to learn about the code of conduct, several 4-Hers got together this summer to create a video. Let's take a look at that now.
Welcome, cadets, to the Vine Station here on Planet Clover. We are glad that you can join us for the 3023 Teen Leader Conference. For those of you that are new to the station, we'd like to introduce the Code of Conduct, established over 1,000 years ago. It's a simple set of rules designed to make sure everyone stays safe and has a good time. After all, the 4-H motto is to make the best better.
Make the best better.
That's right. Let's get started with the first code.
That's Jack Berryhill. I heard he's been president since 2022 and 2023.
Yeah, he was such a good president. They keep cloning him every few years, and he's been president ever since. That is Jack Berryhill the 43rd.
Dish raspberry.
There will be no foul language here at the Vine Station.
Hey, Kurt. Oh my God. I'm just gonna come.
Oh no, not again.
No boys in girls' rooms, no girls in boys' rooms.
Good solar noon, everyone. I'm Jack Berryhill, the 43rd. Today, I would like to discuss with you some of the changes that have been made over the years to our Vine Center, now known as our Vine Station. Here's a photo from back in 2023 when the first Jack Berryhill took office. Here's another photo from 2100. And then here's a photo of it today. You can clearly see the difference from back in 2023. I would now like to talk about our Hall of Fame winners, starting back in 1977. Our first winner, Tracy Crumpler, Union County, 1977. Rita Craig, Lonout County, 1978. Beverly Reed, Hope County, 1978. Mike Nelson, Arkansas County, 1988. John Arnold, Chickett County, 1989. Mindy Hill, Cleburne County, 1997. Maria Yancey, Searcy County, 1998. Amanda Simpson, Benton County, 2006. Jeffrey Parker, Van Buren County.
Make sure you're where you're supposed to be and have no unauthorized absence.
And remember, guys, we're all here to do one thing, to make the best better.
Oh, look, I can go to the concert with you on Jupiter, but my mom said I had to be back on planet by 10.
No way. What did he say?
He said his hyperdrive is broken on his ship.
Really? What a loser. You should meet my cousin. He has... Did he just...
They're gonna have to clean that up. Let's go get something to eat.
Always dress appropriately.
Stop. You cannot shoot at these statues. That's official 4-H property. And you're supposed to have these anyways.
It's okay, I'm in shooting sports. The great Jedediah Boxic taught me everything.
Safety first, show offs last. Let me introduce you to my friend Matt. Muzzle, action, trigger. Treat every firearm like it's loaded. Don't bring a water pistol to the gun show. Small arms, big arms, no firearms.
You mustn't have any contraband and don't take or destroy the property of others. To have you here, by following these simple codes, we can all have fun and fall in line. We'd hate for you to break one of the codes and be terminated.
Hey, that's bullying. We can't have that.
Wait, no!
I'm sorry you had to see that, but everything we do here is to make the best better. To make the best. Welcome to Planet Clover.
Arkansas 4-H state officer elections are a very important part of state O-Rama. 4-H state officers have a responsibility to represent Arkansas 4-H throughout the year at many state level, regional, and national events, and the job should be taken very seriously. These candidates have already shown their dedication to 4-H by serving as teen stars, 4-H ambassadors, and taking part in a series of interviews, impromptu speaking challenges, and storytelling practices. At this time, we will hear from our state officer candidates. Each county was allotted 2 voting delegates to represent their county, who will cast votes for the new state officer team. After listening to each candidate's speech, counties may decide how their delegates' votes will be cast, and voting will take place during the general business session on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. back here in the Arkansas Union Ballroom. There are 10 candidates running for a general state officer position, which are reporter, secretary, and first vice president. 9 of those candidates are also running for the Arkansas 4-H president position. District vice president elections were held in June at each district's O-Rama. The newly elected state officer team will be announced at the closing awards assembly on Thursday. First to the stage is Abigail Catron from Craighead County. Abigail is running for a general state officer position and president.
Has anyone seen a rabbit lately? I've been trying to catch that rabbit all morning. Oh, hey, let me introduce myself. I'm Abigail Catron, and I'm running to be your next state officer. My 4-H projects have ranged from rabbits, community action, and citizenship. In my early record books, I used the adventures of Brer Rabbit. Brer Rabbit was very kind, humble, and witty. Those are key to life and leadership. Kindness is the very reason I'm on this stage. You see, when I first started 4-H, I was 6 years old, and I was a very shy little girl who hid behind my mom at all the events. But with kindness of leaders, volunteers, and my fellow 4-Hers, I was able to outcome my shell and stand up here today. The next thing is humility. You learn to be humble when you visit Ground Zero breaking events of tornado sites to when you visit the Indian Advocacy Center, which I have donated my backpacks to, and I filled my backpacks with blankets, games, and toiletries, and I deliver them quarterly, and I have learned not to take anything for granted. The last characteristic is witty. Bear Rabbit was very witty, and to be a good leader, you must be able to think on your feet. And speaking of feet, I'm going to ask you, the audience, some questions. If you've done any of these, please stand and remain standing until the end. If you've ever shown an animal in 4-H, please stand. If you've ever presented a speech in 4-H, please stand. If you've ever competed in an outdoor event, please stand. If you've ever entered anything in the fair, please stand. Finally, if you are a 4-H volunteer or a 4-H agent, please stand. Now, if you have any ability about my 4-H ability, just look around the room, because I just had an entire audience stand up with just words. So remember me, Abigail Catron, kind, humble, and witty. Thank you.
Next, we will have Diamond Jones from Pulaski County. Diamond is running for a general state officer position and president.
Okay. I know we have all probably heard of the phrase, diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? Well, that's wrong. Diamonds are not only a girl's best friend, this diamond is your best friend. Hi, I'm Diamond Jones. I'm from Pulaski County. My main 4-H project is leadership, and I'm running for your Arkansas 4-H state president. Over this past year, I have been molded by my time in 4-H. I have done so much and learned so much that I never would have learned before, such as getting to speak in front of hundreds of 4-Hers and government officials at Arkansas Capitol, first day at the Capitol. And then I've got to share my 4-H story with the CEO of 4-H, Jennifer Sir Angelo. And I've also gotten a chance to represent Arkansas 4-H on a national level in Puerto Rico for the Farm Bureau Convention. But I know you probably don't want to hear about the things that I've already done in 4-H. You want to hear about the things that I plan to do and how I'm going to go about that. Well, there's 3 things. First, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to be a listening ear to help and listen to all the thoughts and ideas that y'all have. I'm also going to be strong, independent, and I'm going to be hardworking and make sure to not fold under pressure. And lastly, I am one of a kind. I'm Diamond, and those are 3 qualities that diamonds have. They're strong, they're one of a kind, and they don't fold under pressure. So, as me, your best friend, make sure to vote Diamond Jones as your Arkansas 4-H president.
Thank you, Diamond. Now, we will hear from Wapiti Mefford, Newton County. Wapiti is running for a general state officer position and president.
Arkansas 4-H, how are we doing today? My name is Wapiti Mefford, and I'm running to be your next Arkansas 4-H state president. You want to hear a really fun fact? In 1981, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission reintroduced elk along the Buffalo National River. And 17 years ago, Newton County got its very own special species of wapiti. This one happens to be standing in front of you today. A little bit about me. I'm 17 years old and attend Jasper High School, where I'm involved in a variety of many different clubs. I'm my club president, my county council's president. I was also on the National 4-H Youth Leadership Team, and this year I got to represent you as your Arkansas 4-H state reporter. The skills and knowledge that I've learned over this past year has translated over into being your next Arkansas 4-H state president. I've had many opportunities that have contributed to my success over this past year. I got to attend Arkansas Boys State in June, where I learned more about civic engagement and even got to participate in a form of mock government. I was an Arkansas Senate page and got to learn about how to work with others and got to build on my communication skills. I've received an Arkansas House of Representatives Citation Award for all my hard work and dedication to my community. Just ask around about me and you'll quickly find I'm a true leader and I'm ready to get her done again and focus on the future of Arkansas 4-H and listen and respond to each and every one of your needs. After all, it's your 4-H experience. So when you go to vote on Thursday, I encourage y'all to work together with me to get her done again and elect me as your next Arkansas 4-H state president.
Thank you, Wapiti. Joining us on stage to share her speech is Adeline Westfall from Howard County. She is running for a general state officer position and president.
Hey, Arkansas 4-H, how are we doing tonight? Like Jack said, I'm Adeline Westfall, and I want to ignite a spark as your next Arkansas 4-H state officer. Growing up in 4-H, like many of you, I looked at the state officer teams and wondered, what if? Could I be a part of that one day? My spark was lit when I was told that yes, it is possible with hard work and determination. My main project is healthy living, and through this, I've learned that it takes your whole body to be the best you can be by not only eating the right foods and exercising, but also making wise decisions. This project area influences my everyday life and is the reason I'm standing here before you today. I have served in presidential seats in the local and county level, but I've also represented Arkansas 4-H at the national level. As an ambassador at the Healthy Living Summit, I learned about substance abuse and got to bring a program back into my community to teach others about this important subject. But I also, this past April, got to attend National 4-H Conference, and I worked with youth from around the nation. In just 3 days, we created a new financial institution for HUD-assisted youth. You might be wondering, what's HUD? It's the it's the Department of Housing and Urban Development in Washington, D.C. So we got to go and present this to them, and it was a major change. It was something big that I got to be a part of on the national level. But you might be wondering, why is she up here? I want to work for you. As a state officer, I will advocate for each district by connecting your counties to the state level. But I also want to provide input and provide new educational opportunities for our 4-H program. And last but not least, I want to be a role model and serve as a leader for today's youth. I can achieve this goal with your vote. As Taylor Swift once said, never forget the essence of your spark.
Thank you, Adeline. Next to the stage is Josiah Lillard from White County. He is running for a general state officer position and president.
What makes a good 4-H'er or a good state officer? I'm Josiah Lillard from White County, and I'm running for Arkansas 4-H state office. What I think makes a great 4-H'er is right there in the words we recite during our club meetings. I'll use the slogan, learn by doing, as an example. You might have a main project that you mainly focus on, as the name implies, but that doesn't mean that you're confined to that one project. My main project is computer science and coding. I'm a member of the state video crew, I'm a member of the Arkansas Tech Changemakers, and I'm the president of my county's technology club. However, recently, I've tried my hand at taking care of broiler chickens. How many people here like to take care of broilers? Show of hands. To whoever is raising their hands, I respect your patience deeply. I despised taking care of broilers, but I learned from it. I didn't learn by not doing. That's the importance of trying new things. That's what's so great about 4-H, and it's what I think makes a great 4-H'er. I'm willing to bet that each and every one of you tried something new and didn't like it very much. But you learned something from it, didn't you? Previous state officers, ambassadors, and just older 4-H members in general taught me that trying new things, dedicating your time to education and bettering the world around you is part of what makes a great 4-H'er. They were all icons to me throughout my 4-H career, and I want to be that kind of icon to the next generations of 4-H'ers. In one of my campaign speeches for my local club, I explained that 4-H lets you be the leader you want to be, outspoken or quiet, introverted or extroverted, seeking knowledge or seeking to share knowledge. You have an opportunity to be great by being you. So please, choose to light up leadership and vote for Josiah Lillard. Thank you.
Thanks, Josiah. Please welcome Braylon Kohler from Hot Spring County to the stage, who will be running for a general state officer position.
Rachers, we know how to stick out in a crowd, along with being outgoing leaders and have a lot of fun doing it. Me, being not your average height for a typical girl, I tend to stick out a lot on my own, along with being outgoing, a go-getter, and a leader. What's up, Arkansas? I'm Braylon Kohler from Hot Spring County, and I would like to say that I'm here to make Arkansas's 4-H's best even better. 4-H is the best because it has all of you guys in it. 4-H is one of the best youth organizations because we learn life lessons, how to be effective communicators, and the importance of community service. Some of the life lessons I've learned through 4-H are by being a younger showman and walking into the ring and looking up to the older showmen who I saw work hard to reach their goals. I learned time management because I learned that it takes me 3 times as long to get my lamb ready as it does my goat, or my cow taking much longer. I've also learned work ethic because nothing is handed to you in life. You have to really work for it. Or when a health issue sets me back, I'm working through all of these problems to still do my best. Now for communication, that's something where I kind of struggle, but I really worked through it. In showmanship, there's nothing more nerve-wracking than when you're standing there waiting for the judge, making his way towards you, hoping you have prepared for what he's going to ask you. Or when you're waiting for your turn to walk into your ambassador interview for the first time. Or it could be like y'all getting ready for your state O-Rama speech for the first time, hoping you don't forget that attention getter you worked so hard on. You know that saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade? Well, 4-H has done nothing but help prepare me to do that. At the end of our 4-H pledge, we pledge our hands with larger service. Well, each year at Christmas time, I make little boxes to send across the world to our soldiers who fight for our country. So I would like to continue that through as a state officer by creating statewide challenges for all of you guys to participate in. And being the go-getter I am, it requires commitment, responsibility, dedication, and to keep the promises I make towards myself. Through these goals, I have been able to accomplish many things inside and outside of the show ring. So please, be with me, or vote for me, so I can make Arkansas's 4-H's best even better.
Thank you, Braylon. Up next, we will hear from Casey Clark, Faulkner County. Casey is running for a general state officer position and president.
Okay, so has most of y'all heard of the name association game? Yes? No? Okay, so for those that don't know, it's where you take the first letter of your name and you find an adjective that matches you. And then you go around in a circle saying, "Hi, Brilliant Bobby, I'm Fabulous Fred." So hi, I'm Kinetic Casey, and I want to bring the energy into the next 4-H here by being your next Arkansas 4-H state officer. Now you may be wondering, why did I pick kinetic as my adjective? Well, I believe I have a lot of the same characteristics as kinetic energy. Now let me back up and tell you a little bit about kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is something in motion. And throughout my 4-H career, I always strive to be that energy that rubs off on others and pushes them out of their comfort zone to do great things. Because I believe that everybody has potential to do great things. Another characteristic of kinetic energy is it's everywhere. Much like I, Casey Clark, have been throughout my 4-H career. You see, I've done a lot of what 4-H has to offer, including project areas like healthy living, art, leadership, and community service. I've also participated in several team events like grassland evaluation and livestock judging. And I have shown and or owned every type of farm animal except goats, sheep, and horses. Now, that wasn't for lack of trying, but my parents just wouldn't have it. Kinetic energy is also never disappears and is always changing to fit the situation. And when has anybody seen me, Casey Clark, without energy at a 4-H event? Kinetic energy can also be quite strong, much like I, Casey Clark, am, because if you can't tell, I do lift. So allow me, Kinetic Casey Clark, to bring the energy and the muscle into the next 4-H year as your next Arkansas 4-H state officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Now, I invite Ash Wood, Washington County, to the stage. He is running for a general state officer position and president.
Afternoon, everybody. And to the people of Ozark District, I thought you'd see me again in Fayetteville. But for the most of you, you probably don't know who I am, so let's start there. My name is Ash Wood, and I'm campaigning to be one of your state officials. And when you heard me say campaigning, you probably thought I was going to speak on leadership. And with that in mind, I decided to speak on a less popular topic. This is representability. Now, why would I talk on a topic such as this? Well, in short, representability is equally, if not more important than leadership, due to the fact that representability is agreeability. Now, that doesn't make sense on its own. So let me try to put it in a simile. We're building a structure, and leadership is the frame of the building. And this makes sense because you have your president, vice president, and so on. But before we can begin with the frame, we must find good ground. This is where representability comes into play. With representability, we can find good ground between everybody. But if that simile doesn't make sense, let me put it in a more, well, physical sense that everybody here knows. We're each and all of us are part of a club, yes? And in our club, we have a structure. But the only reason we know of the structure is because we are sharing an interest with the club. If it wasn't for our interest in the club, there wouldn't be structure that we know of or work with. And this agreeability is even more important with the larger audience we have. That's why leadership with representability is important to have as we get more people involved. That's why I believe I'd be a great candidate due to my extensive background. In my 7 years of 4-H, I've been part of just about every club, from shooting sports to agriculture, from technology to arts and crafts. I believe I can represent everybody here on some form, even if it looks like we have nothing in common together. Finally, we've all done well to get here. We are the best in our district, and we now compete against the entire state for an award. But that's for tomorrow. For then, good luck. But for now, good day. Welcome to State O-Rama.
Thank you, Ash. Connor Henry from Arkansas County is up next to deliver his speech. Connor is running for a general state officer position and president.
Hey, Arkansas 4-H. Come on, you can do better than that. Hi, Arkansas 4-H. My name is Connor Henry. I am from Arkansas County. I am 17 years old, and this is my 11th year in 4-H. I am running to be one of your Arkansas 4-H state officers. Picture this. You're high in the air, walking on a tightrope. You have a harness around your legs and waist, and cables above your head for your hands to hang onto. Take one step forward, don't look down. You're afraid of heights, but don't think about that now. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You can face your fear and do it anyway. A year ago, I was that kid, hanging on for dear life. I went on high adventure around Arkansas and did things I had never done before. My tightrope experience was on a via ferrata, and I ziplined for the first time. I was able to have so many new experiences. 4-H is important because it gives you new opportunities and ways to grow. 4-H is about trying new things and stepping out of your comfort zone. One opportunity I had was being one of 3 delegates to go to 4-H National Conference earlier this year. I was able to visit Washington, D.C. and work with 4-Hers from many different states to build a presentation for the Senate Ag Committee. I learned a lot about teamwork and cooperation there. I am on the state video crew, where we learn and train with professional video production equipment. I'm also on the Arkansas Tech Changemaker team. I was nervous about joining Tech Changemakers, but after 2 years, I can say that it has improved my technology and public speaking skills immensely. As a Tech Changemaker, I teach adults technology and employability skills to help close the digital divide. As a state officer, I will encourage other 4-Hers to step out of their comfort zone like I have. So give me, Connor Henry, the opportunity to represent you as one of your Arkansas 4-H state officers. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Finally, we will hear from Joshua Barrera, Sebastian County. Joshua is running for a general state officer position and president.
Hello, my name is Joshua Barrera. I'm 17 years old, and I'm the president of Laveco 4-H and the Teen Leaders Club in Sebastian County. Now, I don't know about you, but I love 4-H. Honestly, I can't imagine my life without it. 4-H allows you to practice and be better at what you do, but you're not alone. 4-H is full of people who know what they're doing to help you along your way. 4-H is not just an organization, but it is a family. 4-H is so much more. It is a place to make many friendships and memories, and I know I have in my 7 years of being in it. In all my years, I have never regretted joining 4-H. I have loved every second of it, and many of my friends in 4-H are in the crowd, many of them over there. Now, you may be asking yourself, why should I vote for Josh? Well, I have the ability to be a relatable leader, one that you can talk to in one-on-one conversation. If elected, I will make sure that people know that 4-H is not just about going to the fair and showing up for club meetings once a month. I cannot enunciate that part enough. That is one of the most important things to me, that people know that 4-H is an amazing family to be with. I have the ambition to make the best better. Thank you for your time, and vote for me as your Arkansas 4-H state officer.
Thank you, Joshua. Let's give all of our state officer candidates a round of applause for showing us how they plan. If you are a voting delegate representing your county, remember to meet back here at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday to participate in the general business meeting. Your name tag should be marked with a neon green ribbon, which must be worn to the general business session in order to cast your vote. This year, we have a great speaker here to help us launch into the Clover system. Coming in at 5'1" and fierce, meet Kate Garnes. Kate is a speaker, choreographer, tap dancer, an all-around normal girl just trying to leave this world a tiny bit brighter than when she came into it. Originally from the great state of Missouri, Kate was an only child raised by a strong single mom on unsweet tea, playing outside, and old-school Nickelodeon cartoons. Growing up small compared to others her age, Kate always felt the need to try to chase that pesky little thing called perfection, which was a losing fight. In working with youth for over 10 years, Kate can see the same chase for perfection in teens that she saw in herself. She uses her story of being told she was never good enough to become a performer at Walt Disney World, to becoming a gladiator, not because anyone saved her, but because she learned how to do it herself. Kate is lucky enough to have called the stage home since she was a young girl. Kate has performed as a dancer and actor in Orlando, Florida, including Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, SeaWorld Orlando, Legoland, and recently joined the Shake the Ground dance competition tour as their resident MC. In 2019, Kate published her first book, based on her keynote talk. Kate's energy, humor, and genuine love for others has captivated audiences from California to Florida. Please give a warm 4-H welcome to Kate Garnes.
Just gonna switch microphones. We're doing great. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? Perfect. Well, hey, 4-H, I have a question. Who here likes to dance? Yeah. Who of you has like a go-to dance move? It is like your move that you tend to rock on the dance floor. Amazing. Who wants to teach me that dance move? Yeah. All right, come on up. Come on up. Yep. I see a bunch of hands back there. Come on up. I need like 2 more people. I need 2 more people to be brave. Yes. Perfect. Ooh, I want to dance with somebody. All right. So here's what's going to happen. While they're making their way up to the stage, here's what's going to happen. We are going to put on some music, and you all, each one of you are going to teach me and show me your favorite dance moves. Sound good? Come on in. Come on in. Come on over. I don't smell, I don't think. No, not today. I remember deodorant. Perfect. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to put on some music. They are going to show us their favorite dance moves, and then I'm going to teach you my favorite dance move. Sound good? Perfect. All right. Let's start over here. Let's start with you. Here we go. 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 Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. Here we go. Show me your favorite move. She said it's old. We'll see how old we're talking here. You gotta go low, girl. My knees don't go low. That's not as old as you think. All right, here we go. Okay, you gotta. She gotta. Hey. I've never understood this one, but I'm good at it. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Perfect. First of all, give it up for them for being brave. All right. Now, I want to teach you my favorite dance move, but I forgot to mention I'm a tap dancer. Ha ha! So here's what you're gonna do. Here's what you're gonna do. Super easy. You're gonna take your right foot and you're just gonna put your toe down and then your heel down. Super easy. Yep, toe, heel. Toe, heel. Perfect. Then you're gonna drop your other heel. So toe, heel, heel. Heel, heel. Nailed it. We're halfway there. You're gonna go toe, heel, heel. Do it again. Then you're gonna pick up that first foot. You're gonna drop the heel you're standing on, heel. Knock your toe, toe. Drop your heel, heel. Yeah, now put that all together. Ready? Toe, heel, heel. Pick it up. Heel, toe, heel. Good. Do it again. Ready? Toe, heel, heel. Pick it up. Heel, toe, heel. One more time. Toe, heel, heel. Pick it up. Heel, toe, heel. Give it up for him, everybody. You got it. Awesome. See, I love teaching that dance move because I love watching how fast you pick it up. And when you nail that move, it looks like this. So So I love teaching that move. Why? Because they were up here for what? Maybe a minute, and they got it right away. Because see, that is the dance move that got me to quit dancing. True story. That is the dance move that got me to quit dancing. See, when I was 7, I was in a dance class. And I got to tell you, I was raised by a single mama and an absent alcoholic father. So that dance, we had no money coming in. That dance class was the one thing I had for myself. That was my one special thing. And my teacher, Miss Hallie, 4-H, how many of you, especially when you're a little kid, have an adult or a person who's older than you in your life that in your eyes can do no wrong? You know what I'm talking about? Thank you so much. You know what I'm talking about? Especially when you're a little kid, right? That was Miss Hallie for me. She was everything I wanted to be. She was my version of a superhero. So I get into class, and I don't know if you can tell, but I am very short. I am like 5 foot nothing. So I always had to be in the front, because otherwise I couldn't see what was going on. So she lines us all up in class, and she makes us do that move that I just showed you. She has each kid go one by one, just like I did with these girls. One by one, she goes, kid does it, nails it, does it, nails it, does it, nails it. She gets in front of me, and she says, okay, Kate, go. Okay. And Miss Hallie kept saying, no, do it again. No, it's fine, try it again. No, do it again. And then she had that moment that we all dread, right? Where she went from encouraging to frustrated to disappointed. She went to turn off the music, and I heard her mumble under her breath, man, some kids just are not good enough at this, for this class. Just aren't good enough for this class. Just aren't good enough, just aren't enough. 4-H, that was the day my recording started. My recording here of not being good enough, not being enough. And I wish that I could stand in front of you and be like, have no fear. That's the last time anyone spoke any kind of hatred into my life, but that would be a lie. Fast forward a few years, I was in choir. Do we have any choir kids in the house? Yeah, people, let's go. I was in choir, there was a concert, there was a solo, and your girl got it. And y'all, I was so excited, so pumped. It came time for the concert, right? I get down off the bleachers to a microphone that promptly had to be lowered because I was 1.5 feet shorter than everybody else my age. And I look out and I see my mom, and my dad's not there. And suddenly another recording here comes screaming back. See, I was an only child, so I played most of the time by myself, and I had a wild imagination. Now I'm going to date myself just a little bit here. A movie had come out called Harriet the Spy. If you don't, it's a good movie, right? A movie came out called Harriet the Spy, and if you don't know about it, it's basically about this young girl who decides she's going to be a detective. So she goes out, and she solves all these mysteries, and I was like, yep. I'm gonna do that. So I promptly put on my bathrobe, which became a trench coat. And I went outside and I took my little notebook and I would write down all the things that I heard, right? Just being like a dope detective, because that's what detectives do. Well, the other thing I did was I listened in on phone conversations. Completely innocent. Completely innocent. I was just trying to solve a case. Unfortunately, I picked the wrong conversation between my mom and my dad, who had had one too many to drink. And I heard my mom say, Jack, you didn't even come to hear her sing her first solo at church. And my dad goes, well, she's no Mariah Carey. Not a good enough singer, not a good enough dancer, not a good enough daughter, because he didn't even bother showing up. 4-H, how many of you have ever had a recording like that? Thank you so much for your honesty. Thank you. A recording because one person made one comment to you one time. One sentence, one utterance, and that became your truth. They said one thing, and it became what you live by. Someone called you stupid. Someone called you ugly. Someone made fun of the clothes that you wear. the size of your body, the way that you speak, the way that you pray, the way that you eat. Someone made fun of the fact that you just exist in this world. And we believe it. And we take it as truth. And of course we believe them. Of course we do. Because at some point down the line, we have decided that everybody else has it figured out. Everybody else figured out the password or the cheat code to figure out how to fit in, to figure out how to not feel like an outsider, to know without having that horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach where to sit in the cafeteria. I wish I could tell you that gets better as an adult. It does not. It's still one of the most intimidating things that you will do is walking into a cafeteria not knowing where to sit. And we figured out everybody else. How did they all figure it out? And I didn't. So of course, when they say that one thing, we believe them. Like oh my gosh, she is so pretty. She's so pretty. Like she could wear a trash bag and make it look Gucci pretty. She walks into a room and everybody just surrounds her and seems to genuinely enjoy her presence. She's so pretty. And she called me ugly. So I must be ugly. And y'all, listen. He is so smart, like wicked smart, like really, really smart, like gonna graduate high school with an associate's degree smart. And you know what I don't do? I don't math. Anybody else in here not math? Oh, my people. See, I want to be good at math so bad, but when I see a very complicated math equation, loud circus music starts playing in my head. I can write essays for days. Don't make me math. But he maths like he's brushing his teeth in the morning, and he called me stupid. He called me incompetent. So I must be stupid and incompetent because they must know better than me. And y'all, that's why I'm here. Because that thing that you have believed for so long, that recording that you have is a lie. You are good enough, you are beautiful enough, but you've been telling yourself for so long, they said this, they know better than me, so it must be true. That's why I'm here. I'm not from here. I live in Orlando, Florida. But this is why I travel across the country, speaking to as many high schools, middle schools, and conferences as I possibly can to get you all to stop believing the lie I believed for over 30 years. Because let's be honest, being a teenager is exhausting. Being a teenager is exhausting. See, I'm not all that much older than you. I'm only a little bit older than you, but you all are living in a completely different universe than I lived in when I was your age. You all have something I did not have when I was your age. You all have infinite knowledge in your back pocket. Who here has heard of the musical Hamilton? Perfect. So there's a line in the musical Hamilton that goes, look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. Think about those words. Look around, 4-H, at how lucky we are to be alive right now with this incredible thing in your back pocket. Let me break this down. Let's say in the span of 5 minutes, you can text your best friend. You can check the score of the football game. You can play a round of your favorite game, whatever that is. For me right now, Candy Crush and Clash of Clans. You can, Town Hall 13, baby. You can order food to be ready for you to be picked up. Or if you want to pay that extra fee, you can have food delivered to your doorstep. And then you can simultaneously look up how to spell the word anti-disestablishmentarianism. Look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now. It's amazing. But with great power comes great responsibility. And all of a sudden, this amazing thing in your back pocket can get very loud and opinionated. Because can we all agree that people all of a sudden find their brave bone when they get to hide behind a phone screen and say something to you? Yeah, when they don't have to stand toe to toe with you and look you in the eye and say something, all of a sudden they get real loud behind a phone screen, right? All of a sudden, this amazing thing in your back pocket is telling you how to dress, is telling you how to speak, is telling you how to pray, how to vote, how to exist correctly, right? And it says, yo, you want to fit in? You want to fit in? Dope. All you have to do is do this fad, right? Wear this certain brand of clothing. Take this picture. Do this dance. Use this filter, right? And so we do the thing. I do it too. We do the thing. We learn the TikTok dance. We learn how to do TikTok in general because it's way more complicated than I'd like to admit. You all are amazing because your TikTok games are strong. We do the thing. We take the picture, we use the filter, we make the post, and then we go, am I cool now? Did I make it? Do I fit in? Is this what I needed to do? And then that amazing thing in your back pocket goes, no. See, I get it, you're trying, that's cute, you're real cute. But that was last Tuesday. See, we're on to Thursday now. You got to keep up. I don't really know why you're trying to keep up, because you're not going to be able to keep up, but it's cute that you try. So keep trying, and I will keep telling you how you're not good enough not keeping up, yeah? But we try anyway, because this thing keeps telling us that is how we fit in, right? Being a teen is exhausting. Y'all wake up at like 6? What time does school start roughly for you all? 8, so we'll go with 8. That sounds like a good round even number between everybody, okay? So you all wake up at like 6:30, and the first thing you do is check your phones just to make sure you didn't miss anything in the last 3 to 6 hours that you were asleep. Because for some reason, we get convinced that that's when all the good stuff happens. So first thing we do is we check our phone. We start to get ready for school, and we try to wear the right clothing. We try to do our hair right so that we don't fit in or stand out for a good or bad reason. We get to school, and we make sure that we walk tall, walk proud. We are Sasha Fierce, who don't need nobody. Whoa, but don't be too manly. Don't be too much, right? But also be kind and be gentle and be warm. Whoa, but don't be weak. Yo, don't be weak, yeah? You're at school until, what time does school usually end for you? 3 o'clock, perfect. So we're going 8 to 3. Then you may have some sort of extracurricular activity and or performing arts and or athletics. We get done with that. We then have to go to our job from we'll say 5 until 9-ish. We get home from school, and then we have about 4 hours of homework because each of our 8 classes only gave us 30 minutes of homework. We get home at 9, somewhere in there we had to eat. We now are at 1 in the morning after finishing our 4 hours of work just to get up and do it all again. Once again, we get to school and we have to remember, don't breathe wrong, don't blink wrong, don't look at this person for too long because then they'll get the wrong impression. But make sure that you do look at them because you don't want to seem rude. Speak out, whoa, but not too loud. Stand up, stand tall, but don't stand out. Being a teenager is exhausting. So why are we continuing to rip ourselves apart here when this is already coming for you? This is already ready to tell you you're not enough, to tell you you're not thin enough or curvy enough or loud enough or smart enough. Right here, this will show up for you every time. So why are we being the biggest bullies we've ever encountered here? We're saying things that if we said to other people out loud, we're saying things to ourselves here, that if we said to other people, we would be in big, big trouble. You know, everybody always says, you gotta be we are always our biggest critic. Why can't we be our biggest advocate? Because it's now time that we start standing up to this. Because here's the truth for you. I wish I could tell you it gets better. Being a teen's exhausting. To the adults in the room, I hear you, I know. Being an adult, adulting is also like woof. I get it. And I wish, to all you teens out there, I wish I could tell you it gets better. I wish that I could stand up here and say, hey, I got the secret sauce for you. You ready? All you have to do is make it through high school. That's all you have to do. You just have to get to your graduation, you walk across that stage, you shake your principal's hand, or you bear hug them if you're like me, freaked him out, completely worth it. And then welcome. You've made it. You've made it to the good place. You did it. You made it. Welcome to adulthood, where there is no racism. There's no bullying. There's no name calling. Everyone is in your corner. Everyone is on your side. Everybody wants you to succeed. But I think we can all admit that if I stood up here and said that to you, that I would be a big, big liar. And there are too many people in this world lying to you. I will not be one of them. I wish I could say that being a teen is exhausting and that's where it ends. Unfortunately, us adults, we're just teenagers stuck in an adult body holding the same lies and baggage that we were holding when we were your age. And I think we can all agree, hurt people, right? And when you've been carrying that hurt for a long time, it gets really heavy. And sometimes we like to take it out on others, yeah? See, before I became a speaker, I worked at a place called Walt Disney World. And I loved my job. I worked there for about 10 years as a performer. I brought some of the most iconic characters of all time to life in front of upwards of 75,000 people a day. Y'all, I loved my job. But again, hurt people. And now I'm on a stage in front of people who seemingly love this character, right? But then I step backstage and I'm around other adults who are hurt. All of a sudden, I got very used to grown adults coming up to me and saying things to me like, Kate, you're so skinny. Like, they would come and they would try to put their hands around my waist, or they'd come and they'd grab my wrist and be like, Kate, I can get my whole hand around you. Kate, can you just eat a cheeseburger and just make me feel better about myself? Hang on, sis. First of all, who lied to you? Who lied to you and told you that you weren't already perfect the way that you are, the way that I see you? Who hurt you? Second of all, it is not my job to make you feel beautiful. It is your job to know you already are. It is not my job to lower a standard or any standard I have set for myself in my life because you're too afraid to raise your own. 4-H, it is not your job to lower a goal or a standard that you have set for yourself in your life because the person next to you, who may be a family member, a best friend, anybody, is too afraid to raise their own goals or standards. You know, I've always heard the saying, you need to be a light to the world. You need to go be a light unto the world. You know what I don't want to be? A floodlight. You know what I don't want to be? A headlight. Because what do floodlights and headlights make you do? They make you squint. They make you blind. They make you lean away. They make you lean back. They're very aggressive, right? Y'all know what I want to be? I want to be a twinkle light. This is one of my favorite parts of my talk because whether you realize it or not, about 80% of you, when I said I want to be a twinkle light, went like this. That's what twinkle lights make you do. They're small, but they're mighty. They glow. Even though they're little, if they're in a dark room, everyone can see them, right? And when you lean in when you're around them because you want to just take them in. And then when you leave the twinkle light, when you think back on it, it makes you go like this. I want to be a twinkle light. Y'all, I will not dim my twinkle light because someone else is too afraid to light theirs at all. Same for all of you. Maybe somebody needs your light to be lit because they are too afraid to light theirs, but seeing yours might make them brave enough to light their own. That doesn't mean that you put your light out. It means that you continue to let your light shine. Because I will never be a speaker. I saw this a lot during the pandemic. I will never be a speaker that does what I like to call toxic positivity. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? The speakers or the influencers who are like, oh my God, you guys, all you have to do is be super happy all the time. Like you just have to think happy thoughts and it's great. Just like calm down and like just don't have anxiety and like just don't be depressed and just don't be sad. You're welcome. I want to throw my shoe at people like that. Because guess what? Sometimes life is really hard. The past 4 years, really hard. Yeah? So I'll never be a speaker that comes up and talks a lot about toxic positivity. What I'm about to walk you through, the steps I am going to give you, the tools I'm going to give you to take this back, to stop listening to that lie that you were told, because it is a lie, is going to be really hard. It's going to be hard to hear. It's going to be hard to accept. Here's the thing. It might save your life. It's something you're going to work on for the rest of your life, but it might be the thing that saves your life. It was for me. Who here has heard the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me? Everybody's heard that saying, right? Especially when you're a little kid. I never understood that saying. Because in my opinion, that's not true. Nobody very often came at me with a stick. Brittany Chapel in the first grade, I won. I may be small, but I am scrappy when I need to be. Nobody really ever came at me with a stick, but from a very young age, people came at me with their words. So it wasn't sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. It was sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can actually kill me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can silence me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can stop me from going out for something like 4-H. I ran for student government one time. I was in the 6th grade. I made a sign that said, don't be late, vote for Kate, and I was super proud of it because no one had ever come up with that rhyme ever in the history of ever. I was very original. I was so proud of it and I was so excited. I walked in, I heard 2 kids making fun of it. I lost. I never ran again. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, not only the words of others, but the words of myself, can actually end me. What I'm about to walk you through might be really hard to put into practice, but it might be the thing that saves your life. It was for me. Quite a few years ago, we won't say how many, I went to work at Disney, and when I moved to Orlando, I fell in with the wrong people. And when I say I fell in with the wrong people, we weren't doing anything illegal. Anybody else hate being in trouble? My people. I was the kid who, if I did something that I wasn't supposed to be doing, I would tattle on myself to my terrifying single mother because I knew that if I got caught doing whatever it was I wasn't supposed to be doing, I would not be standing here right now because my mom flat out said, sis, I brought you into this world. I will take you right on out of it. I was that kid. I didn't snitch on others, but I told all up and down on myself because I hated being in trouble. When I say I fell in with the wrong people, I mean I fell in with people who were saying things to me, who claimed to be my friends, not randos, people who were supposed to be my friends, saying things to me like, Kate, you know, you're kind of the reason I said I would never be friends with an only child anymore because you are so selfish and self-centered. Kate, girl, you know, no one's ever gonna wanna be with you because you are so much. You're so emotional. Kate, I'm your best friend, besties for the resties. So I love you enough to tell you the truth, that you're kind of a trash human being. Y'all would think that broke me, right? Y'all would think that that would be the thing that brought me to my knees. That was not the thing that brought me to my knees. The thing that broke me was when I walked in on a conversation I was never meant to hear between 2 individuals talking about my dad. 4-H, I want to tell you about my dad. And here's the thing, I don't talk about my dad. In fact, when I very first started speaking, my dad was not a part of my talk. And I gave a talk in front of a classroom that I was practicing in, and I mentioned offhandedly after my talk that I had an alcoholic father, and one very brave junior girl raised her hand and she said, "You need to talk about that." And I said, "Nah, sis, I don't talk about my dad." And she goes, "You do now." I do now. I don't talk about my dad. Even when I was a little bit younger than you all, I still didn't talk about my dad. No one knew what was going on at home. No one knew, because I was afraid that if people found out about the actions of my father, that it would somehow dictate my character. It would somehow turn into my mistake, even though I had nothing to do with it. And the only time I would talk about my dad is if you had become my good friend, if you had kind of earned your stripes in my life. And then that conversation looked just a little bit like this. "What's your name?" "Hi, Lauren. I'm Kate. It's really nice to meet you." Everybody give it up for Lauren. Be my volunteer. All you have to do is sit there and look amazing. You're nailing it. Perfect. Lauren, we've been best friends for a while now, right? We always hang out. Anytime people can't find one of us, we know we're with the other one. It's just like we really are best friends, and I hope you know how much I love you. But Lauren, you know, I know that you get really frustrated with me, and I know that because you've told me repeatedly that you get frustrated with me. Like that one time when that guy got really angry and started yelling, and then you couldn't find me because I was hiding in a closet. Yeah, that was not fun. Or that time when you could tell something was wrong and you kept asking me and begging me to tell you, and I physically couldn't produce words. Yeah, that was a riot too. That was a good time. Lauren, I want to tell you about my dad. And it's not super inappropriate. It's not going to make you feel uncomfortable or anything like that. But it's gonna make me make sense as to why I handle situations the way that I do, why I sometimes have anxiety. Lauren, I want to tell you about my dad. I would proceed to hand Lauren, or my best friend, this unbelievably precious jewel that was my dad's story. That was my story. The single most vulnerable and brave thing that I could give someone, I would then hand it to that person who had earned their stripes in my life. I walked in on a conversation I was never meant to hear between two people. The first one said, "Well, you know about Kate and her dad, right?" The second one goes, "No, what are you talking about?" And the first one goes, "Let's just say she's got serious issues." Someone had taken the single most valuable thing I could give you, more than my love, more than my money, more than my time, my story, my dad's story, and used it against my character. They took that jewel and they threw it as hard as they could against the wall. My greatest nightmare had come true. That broke me. I was done. I was working at Epcot that day, and I had to go home. My body could not function correctly to perform anymore. I get home, and I got into bed, and I called my mom, my sweet angel baby child of a terrifying single mother. And she was in Missouri. She was about 1,300 miles. I'm originally from Missouri. She was from Missouri, and I was down in Orlando. So 1,300 miles away, I called my mom, and I said, "Mom, I'm empty. Mom, I have nothing. I'm so empty. I am so empty, Mom. I have nothing else to give this world. I'm done. Mom, I think I'm done." And my unbelievably brave mother on the other end of the phone said, "Katie," she calls me Katie, "Katie, I love you. I love you. And I will get on a plane to Orlando right now if I need to, but this is not my daughter. This is not my daughter. I don't know who's on the other end of the phone right now, but this is not how I raised you to handle hard situations or hard conversations. So I'm going to give you a minute. Call me back when you're ready to be my strong daughter again." And she hung up. 4-H, in that moment, I was completely alone. Nobody was coming to save me. Nobody was showing up at my door with Ben and Jerry's and a Nicholas Sparks movie. Nobody was texting me saying, "Oh my God, Kate, my life is so much better because you're in it. I love you, XOXOXO, emoji, 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 emoji." I was completely alone. And I realized I have a choice to make. I can lay in this bed until I physically die, which will take a while because I was well fed. Or I can get up and I can find one thing to find joy in. Not 2, not 10, 1. Those are my only options. And I will tell you what, 4-H, I did something in the middle. That night, I cried every tear out of my body. Did you know that that's a thing? Did you know that you can cry to the point of not being able to produce tears anymore? It's real. That was the day that I learned rock bottom has a basement. Do y'all have basements here? Y'all have basements here, right? No? I'm learning so much. Florida doesn't have basements. California doesn't have basements. Missouri, we got basements. It's fine. Y'all have basements. Y'all have it downstairs. Perfect. I'm adding that to my knowledge list. That was the day I learned that rock bottom had a basement. I felt that pain through my core to my spine. I have never in my life felt so low. And I realized, okay, sometimes things are going to be really hard. And as much as I would love to be up here and say, but I know nobody out there knows the pain I'm talking about, my guess is, especially after the last 4 years, there are people in this room who know exactly the pain I am talking about. And if you are one of those people, I know you, I see you, I hear you, I am you. And if this tiny twinkle light can find a way to get up off her knees in the basement of rock bottom, so can you. You are not alone. So the next day, I got up and I went to work at a place called Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, how many of you, when you get stressed or tired or basically anything except happy, your stomach hurts and it gets really hard to eat? My people. I have a lot of people in this room. It's really great. That is me. If I get stressed or tired or anything, my stomach hurts really bad and goes, not today, Satan, when it comes to eating. But I knew that it would be very, very bad for an extremely iconic mouse to pass out in front of guests. That is how you end up on TikTok and or YouTube, and not in a good way. That is also how you get fired from Disney. Please see the part of my talk where I hate being in trouble. Getting fired counts as being in trouble. So I did not want to lose my job with Disney. So I walked myself into the cast member cafeteria at Hollywood Studios. I'm walking in and I'm like, nothing sounds good. And y'all, a light shone down from heaven. A chorus of angels started singing. And a light shone down on a double chocolate muffin with chocolate chips. People thought I had absolutely lost my mind. Why? Because hand to God truth, I literally go, hand to God truth. People thought I'd lost. I was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. People thought I was nuts, but I did it. I did my one thing. Remember, my goal for that day was not to keep breathing. My goal was not to stay alive. My goal was to find one thing to find joy in. Because if I could find one thing to find joy in, maybe there was one tiny reason why I was worth joy. And y'all, I did not up the ante. I wasn't like, oh my God, I found one thing yesterday, I'm gonna find 2 things today. Nah. I kept that bar really low. I didn't even look for a different thing. Every day, I focused on the one single joy that was chocolate muffin. But that's not how it works. Because see, when you actively set your mind to finding something, you will find it. If you actively set your mind to finding joy, you will find it. If you actively set your mind to finding hate, you will find it very quickly. If you set your mind to finding hope, it'll take a minute, but you will find it. So I ask you, what are you actively setting your mind on as you go through this conference? What are you actively focusing on as you go into your next school year? As you start to wrap up this year of 2023, what are you actively focusing on? Because you will find it, right? Now, there's something you all don't know about me. I am very, very, very good at binge watching Netflix. Like, to the point that during the pandemic, I literally called my best friend and I said, so I think I finished Netflix. I think I've got to switch to Hulu because Netflix just sent me an email that said, we wanted to give you recommendations, but we're all out. And while all of this was going on, a TV show had come out called Scandal. If you don't know Scandal, that's okay. The first 3 seasons are the best. After that, it's not great. But in the very first episode, well, in the show, Kerry Washington is the main character. She's a Washington fixer. Someone does something dumb in Washington, she goes in and fixes it. It's great. In the very first episode, one of the iconic characters walks forward and says, "We are gladiators in suits." To any of you out there who are ponytail-wearing type humans, you know that moment when you haven't showered in a hot minute? And you've got the ponytail in, and then you go to take the ponytail out, and it just kind of stays. That was the level of lazy that I was at in this moment. But I heard the words, "We are gladiators in suits," and something in me shifted. I got up out of bed in my Batman jammy pants and my ponytail that at this point had its own zip code. And I went to my desk and I got a dry erase marker. I walked into my bathroom that I shared with no one, and in the biggest letters, I had to like crawl up on the sink because I'm short. In the biggest letters I could write, I wrote, "I am a gladiator. I am a gladiator." And then I looked past the letters on my mirror to me. Broken, emaciated, grieving me. And for the first time in the very, very long time, I saw the tiny flicker of a twinkle light. See, that was the day I found my battle cry. What do I mean by that? When a warrior goes into battle, right? They sound their battle cry. Yes, partly to intimidate the enemy, absolutely, but also because failure is not an option for them in battle. 4-H, failure for you here against that lie, against those mean, nasty comments you have been saying to yourself is no longer an option. So I stood in front of that mirror that day and I said, okay, it's got to start with me, right? So I'm starting with the girl in the mirror. I'm asking her to change her ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, 4-H, if you want to make this world a better place, of the place that it should be, where you are your biggest advocate, where you don't allow yourself to speak hatred to yourself, then take a look at yourself and make a change. See, here's the truth. When no one is coming to save you, when your back is against the wall and no one is coming to tell you that you're worth it, because here's the sad reality. 4-H, no one is coming to save you. There isn't a password. There isn't a cheat code. There isn't something that you haven't done. If you don't find yourself worthy of love, of joy, of hope, no one is going to show up to do it for you. So when your back is against the wall and no one's coming, now that you know no one's coming to save you, stand up and start to save yourself. So when your back is against the wall and no one's coming, sound your battle cry. Sound your battle cry. For me, it was, I am a gladiator. I still use it to this day when I feel scared, when I feel sad, when I feel like I'm not a good, when social media tells me, well, you're not a very good speaker, you're not a very good singer, you're not a very good wife, you're not a very good daughter. I still tell myself, no, I'm a gladiator. Find your battle cry. Maybe it's a prayer. Maybe it's a quote. Maybe it's a song lyric. Oh my gosh. Take I Am a Gladiator if it resonates with you. I would love to see 4-H overrun with gladiators, because see, here's what's gonna happen. You start speaking like a gladiator here, you're gonna start speaking like a gladiator here, and all of a sudden, you're going to figure out who your real friends are. And I'm not talking about what I call just kidding friends. No, the ones I mean. The ones who say things to you like, oh my God, girl, are you going to eat all of that, you fat pig? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, you dressed up as trash for Halloween. Oh, wait. That's just your face. I'm just messing. Girl, I'm just messing. You know I love you. I'm just messing with you. Hi, 4-H. If you get nothing else out of my talk, hear this. Those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. And if you're sitting out there going, yeah, they kind of are, ooh, get better friends. Right? Because see, friends do not speak to each other like that. Friends don't have to say just kidding because they don't use each other as the butt of their jokes. Because guess what? It's not funny. Yeah, we may laugh along with you, but trust me, that laughter is to hide the hurt that you just caused. That laughter is to hide the recording you just started. And maybe you're sitting out there going, uh-oh, that's me. I am that friend. I make those jokes. This is uncomfortable. Guess what? You get to start over right now. You get to do better right now, yeah? See, I was going to meet my friend Zach for dinner one night. I had just left the gym, and I called him up, and I was like, hey, man, I'm on my way. I'm really sorry. I look like trash, but I'm coming. And he goes, whoa, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to stop you right there. See, that's my friend Kate you're talking about. See, Kate is beautiful. Kate is extraordinary. Kate is a goddess. The last thing my friend is trash. So we're going to continue this conversation later, but I'm going to need you to never speak about my friend that way again, ever in my presence. Y'all, that is a friend. That's a friend. So I will tell you this. Be picky. Yo, be so picky though. Be picky about your friends. Be picky about who you date. Be picky about the classes you take. Be picky about the jobs you apply to. Be picky about everything. Be picky about the doors you choose to walk through and the seats, the tables you choose to sit at. Because guess what? Those people who are in your circle may not all be in your corner. Those people who stand with you may not stand for you when you are not around. Be so picky. Now let me ask you this. If you were to speak to your friends the way that you speak to yourself, would your friends stay? My guess is if you were being really honest with yourself, the answer is no. Because when we speak to ourselves, we don't say just kidding. When we speak to ourselves, we say, no, I am trash. I am ugly. I don't fit in. I'm not beautiful. I am a sorry excuse of a person. I don't deserve these opportunities. I will never keep up. I'm just not good enough. Right? We don't say just kidding. See, I get asked a lot. So Kate, you're a motivational speaker who speaks on self-talk. So you got it all figured out, right? You don't ever battle that. To which I go, hilarious. Because yes, I am a motivational speaker who talks on how you speak to yourself, but you know what else I am? Human. I'm human. And those little pesky lies, those mean comments, that comparison to others on social media, it still sneaks in. I had one of the biggest things I've ever done in my life happened, and 2 days later, I was ripping myself apart about it. I published a book. I wrote a book. I may not be able to math, but your girl wrote a book. Amen. I was so proud. I wrote a book. It's called Mixtape, How to Stop Listening to the Recordings of Your Past. I wrote it for teenagers. I wrote it for you all, so that you all can see that you are not alone and maybe give just one of you a little bit of hope. I hit publish. I published on Amazon. I self-published through Amazon. I hit publish on Thanksgiving Day of 2019. Y'all, I was so excited, though. The way I strutted around that dinner table on Thanksgiving, I was a published author. I was very excited. A couple days later, I get an email from Amazon. And Amazon goes, hey, sis, do you know you got some spelling errors in your book? And I said, no, Amazon. I don't have any spelling errors on my book. Amazon goes, check again. Somewhere between my editor and my formatter, which is who puts the book into book form, any words that had the letters A, M, and I consecutively, it just deleted those letters. So the word pyramid became prd. The word screaming became scream. The word family became fly. Literally sounded like I wrote a book about a pet fly. Mortified. You know that level of embarrassment where melting into the floor just isn't good enough? You know what I'm talking about? Where like you just want to completely cease existing because you are so embarrassed. That was me. It didn't matter that I'd written a book. It didn't matter that I had achieved a goal. I had achieved a standard that I had set for myself. It didn't matter. So I called up my very best friend, Missy. She's been my best friend since my sophomore year of high school. She is my soul sister, my ride or die. And what I said, she said, hello. I said, Missy, I am such an oh my God, how could I be so stupid? I am so stupid. Missy, why did I think that publishing a book was a good idea? This is the worst. No author in the history of authors has ever published a book with a spelling error. I am so stupid. Oh my God, I'm such a moron. Why would I do this? Why didn't I just stay in my lane? Why did I even think about reaching for something more? Hand to God truth, this is literally what I said. Missy, I want to be a motivational speaker. Why should I even speak to teenagers? Because what are they going to want to hear from a person who wrote a book about a pet fly? And my sweet best friend, my sweet soul sister, she let me finish, because you know what? Sometimes you got to get it out of your system. Sometimes you just got to get it out, right? I honor that. I honor that. And then she said, Katie, you have to put the sword down. To which I responded, what? She said, Katie, you know, you speak to teenagers and you tell them to find their inner gladiator. And you tell them to not let that recording be hateful and hurtful anymore. That is what you do. And right now you're taking that gladiator sword and you are hacking away at yourself. Sis, you got to put the sword down. So yeah, I still battle tough things that come in here, but I've learned that I have to surround myself with things that remind me to keep the sword down. Around my house, around my car, in my office, there are pictures that bring me joy. There are quotes that bring me joy. And I have something for all of you. I have a card that says Gladiator on it. I have one for each of you to remind yourself of your strength when things are hard, to remind yourself to sound your battle cry. Because here's the truth. You may never hear from that person who gave you that recording. That person who said that awful, hateful thing. You may never hear them say that they're sorry. You may never hear them say they didn't mean it. You may never hear them say, hey, it actually had nothing to do with you. It was coming from my own insecurities. I didn't. My dad died of alcoholism when I was 12. I never heard my dad say he loved me without a backhanded criticism after. I never heard my dad say he was proud of me and actually meant it. And I was angry for a really long time until I realized my dad gave me the single greatest gift he could have ever given me. My dad gave me a story. My dad gave me a precious jewel of a story, of a horrible recording, of being told I was not a good enough daughter, being told I was a disappointment, being told I would never amount to anything. And I learned, this tiny twinkle light learned how to stand up on rock bottom and to sound her battle cry, to know her worth. Not because anybody showed up to save me, but because I learned how to save myself. And so can all of you. So 4-H, find your battle cry. Find what it is that resonates with you. It's only for you. Find your battle cry. Be so picky about the people you surround yourself with, about your army. Be so picky about your army. And start living your life in this arena of life with the strength, bravery, and courage of a gladiator. And I'm going to leave you with this. How many of you have seen the movie The Greatest Showman? Perfect. So I could sit up here and preach this to you all day, but I'm going to leave you with words that could say it better than I ever could. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me, and I am a Y'all, my name is Kate Garnes, and it was an honor speaking for all of you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate. We appreciate your message of inspiration. Arkansas 4-H, let's give Kate Garnes one more round of applause for kicking off this week of State Up. We have a few announcements. Each morning, breakfast is in the Fulbright Dining Hall near the dorms we are staying in. Your name tag is required to be able to eat. The buses that take you to your competitive events off campus depart at 7:45 a.m. on Thursday morning. They will be at the bus stop in front of Hotz Hall. Make sure you are there in plenty of time to get on your bus. Immediately following this assembly, you will eat dinner in the Fulbright Dining Hall. Remember your name tag for dinner. After dinner, there will be an Arkansas 4-H State Officer Candidate Meet and Greet at 6:30 in the Connections Lounge or Flag Room here in the Union. Then we will meet back in here in this ballroom at 7:30 p.m. for the lip sync battle of the counties. You won't want to miss the state officer team kicking off the battle. This will be followed by a spacey glow dance party, along with games, a movie, and lots of fun. If your county is participating in the lip sync battle tonight, please have at least one person return to the ballroom by 6:30 p.m. to get your music set up and ready to go before performing. Then you will still have a chance to visit the state officer candidate meet and greet. A lost cell phone was turned in. Please come to the stage after we adjourn and describe your lock screen to return your phone. That concludes our opening assembly. Have a great time this week, and don't forget to have fun orbiting around the Clover system.